All right, perfect. Okay, so I pulled us up here to obviously this is Ambition. There's a lot of different things on the side that you can do, a lot of different tools and different windows you can go into. But I took us right into the scorecards metric over here on the side. If I underneath Ambition, if you go into scorecards, it can take you to here. And essentially what we use the scorecards feature for is to kind of track the daily activities and also the monthly objectives that we're trying to get our reps to hit, as far as, what are their daily sales activity numbers that they need to hit as far as minimums, to make sure that they're going to get enough meetings booked to eventually get us enough sales at the end to make sure that my team wins and Jordan loses. So how we have these roles set up currently, we have a few different roles within Ambition. We have AEs, CSMs, enterprise SDRs, and just your regular SDR itself. And I'm going to kind of go over and highlight the SDR one for everybody. So as far as for objective scores, we have our objective scores pulling by the month. Now, I'm sure that we can also change that if we wanted to, but we want to be able to see the objective score month over month. And so we have it set up to be, our objectives are, six sales accepted leads. That's what our individual rep quota is. If you can bring in six sales accepted leads to your AE each month, then obviously you're hitting quota itself. Now we have SDRs that are doubling, and in some cases getting close to tripling, those quota metrics. But 6 is kind of the base metric, and everybody needs to be hitting on a month by month basis. And then as far as meetings scheduled, that kind of breaks down into our conversion rates off of how many meetings do we have that we schedule that are held, and how many of those ones that are held convert into SALs. And so based off of those numbers, we've been able to kind of narrow it down that if we can schedule 20 meetings a month, if each SDR can schedule 20 meetings a month, then they're going to definitely hit their quota metric, and in most cases surpass it. So we have it listed as, for objective scores, as 6 SALs, 20 initial meetings. They each make up half of your objective score, because you really can't get one without the other. It would be that's not to say that you can't get 6 SALs on, say, 15 meetings, but to be safe and to be ensure that you're going to be hitting your quota month over month, you want to be making sure that you're getting 20 meetings booked. So 6 SALs. So moving it down into the activity scores, you can see that we have these ones set up to pull based off of the day as opposed to based off the month. So objectives is based off monthly scores, and activity is going to be based off of daily. And our activity scores are the things that we need our SDRs to focus in on a daily basis. If you can do these numbers, because that's really what Outreach does, is it sets up a predictive revenue model. I know if I toss in X amount of leads at the top and I do X amount of sales related activities, I'm going to have X amount fall out at the bottom, which is going to give me the amount I need to get my meetings booked, and then my number of SALs. So I can design the whole system. I can really see, just based off the data that I can pull in from Outreach, I can see exactly what I need to throw into the top to get exactly what I need out at the bottom. So based off of that, we've really narrowed it down. We've really decided that 75 outbound dials a day. Again, as a minimum, we have a lot of people that surpass that, but 75 outbound dials a day. 30 LinkedIn actions. Now, a LinkedIn action could be an in-mail, could be a profile view, could be a connection request. Maybe you're commenting or sharing on a post. Anything you can really do socially to kind of make yourself more active and engage with a prospect on a different channel. And also, this is a really, really big one for us personally as Outreach users, is contact sequenced. We've kind of narrowed it down here at Outreach to say that if we can have I believe our metric is 400 contacts active in sequence across all of our different accounts. At a minimum, anytime we have at least 400 people active, you're going to have enough sales activities that queue themselves up throughout that day to make sure that you can make your 75 dials, you can do your 30 LinkedIn actions, and you're obviously in the background always sending messages, emails out to people constantly. So, I would say on average on any given day, if people are hitting their manual tasks, their LinkedIn actions, their phone calls, in conjunction with the emails, they're probably making between 3 to 350 touches on different prospects a day. So that's how we those are the numbers we need to hit to make sure, like I said, we're going to be booking the amount of meetings we want. And we've broken that scoring system. You can kind of see it's not quite 50-50 like the objective scoring system is. For us, outbound dials is weighted way heavier than, say, getting people active in sequence or even those LinkedIn actions. And, for us, the saying that we have in here, and, you might hear Jordan say it later, is, the phone's the ATM. And you're not going to be getting any money out of the phone, or any money out of the ATM if you're not hitting the phone. So you got to make the calls. You got to be, pounding it and just dialing and dialing and dialing.
Yeah, that's awesome. A couple questions here, and I don't know if you guys are the ones that own this part of it, but if you scroll up there, Especially when you hit on for those that are more naive to the system. But hit on your role drop down there. Basically with this, and he just walked us through the exact secret sauce of the SDRs. This allows you to define, departmental specific roles. So obviously, account executive's activity score is going to be, how many of those meetings are you performing that the SDRs are passing over to you. And then, likewise, you get into opportunities created and pipeline owned and closed won. So you basically defined an apple versus orange, scorecard, which is a subjective score there that can level the playing field across your department. So it's a pretty neat scoring system. And these guys have it built out, pretty much perfectly for their SDR team.